Hey, mwana nilenda kwenda juu baba naona mama basi amina roho ya ndipo mama abadia hapo ndio sana ndio
Não mais.
mas só agora qual uma calma para mim assim a b tudo after nje kuliteni kulini ama then 10 years ndiye kuja kufuka cheti yangu. Okay. So how I said it not so good. Not so good. Why not? Fine about it. It's about a week. Yes. It was 6 months. Yeah, 6 pages. Magic. What's the name? Don't disappoint you. Just follow the spotting. Pode poder ter um pouco de base. Sampai ke Malaysia. When it comes to education, if you start focusing on what you want early on. Okay, yeah, that is freedom. Because I'm not one make way Malawi. And then history because I want to be a historian. Then the workers couldn't win over school. Basic idea about the basic idea about social rights, communities, life skills, job, good way you go out at least. I didn't give a soul. Omasa ofuna tizichechera wawinga. Siranga ni batambiri koma moja ni
Na basi zote nikafanya kula hizi ili kusema na nikafundo baka social exam.
Mwenezi utafika. Mwenezi.
Kusema na ananivalia tu.
Unazigira siku kupiga
Gari
Hawa.
anaona alia tu. Makao ngapi kwa manesi, mainjinia.
lawyer,
Mama Kemba.
pilot.
Ndio bangi meja mazati. Uzi baro kana bazipangira kali. Ine mfuna ndibangero baro akakuchambali. Ine mfuna ndibangero.
Survival of the fittest.
Mwisho hizi.
No.
Kama naona mbele because of this. Hope never be.
Bila kuta.
Nossa, cara.
Hakuna watu or leadership. Ndio maliza.
Confidentiality.
Leadership is where a group has two members to lead. Because that was last week.
Yeah, last time.
What was that? I didn't have to not about community. Leadership is group membership. Leo confidentiality.
Guidelines for using
Yeah?
the guidelines for using the technology completely.
Ndio maliza. Mimi na leo mtani na familia. Yeah? Ulipopinga watu wazuri kukuta tunda au familia.
Basi kuzana wa mtu.
That's what I do.
Cross-check. Cross-check. The law of group leader values. A group leader should be aware of their values and how to influence what they say or think.
And how those values can influence what they say. Yes.
All groups are not formed to impose your values. Are not formed to impose your values. I should explain this. Okay, groups are not formed to impose your values where you go beyond what is necessary. Does that make sense? Just try.
Yeah, a group is not where you're supposed to force your ideas on people, commanding them, outline what the situation is, tell them their options, help them to understand their situation, and the person is supposed to make their own decision. What else? What else did you look at?
Tax to make informed decision and action speed for what they do in the group. The group member, every group member has this rules, tax that we must put in the group so that we can maintain the group.
Yeah, the group members have the task of sharing, opening up, being respectful. And if you have a situation at hand as a group member, you can present your issue and you should take responsibility for the decision that you make after being told. You should not blame anyone else. You can go your way. What else did you look at? The psychological use.
So what do you look at? This is self-disclosure, confidentiality. Maintain confidentiality. You have to make sure that each and every member's what problem or story is kept safe and they are confidential. Like you don't have to speak them out anyhow, because talking anyhow or using their information might cause damage to the group and to the member.
Yeah, that's one issue. What's the other?
Members should be taught. Members should be taught about confidentiality, like they should keep, if they share something in the group, they should learn to keep it amongst themselves and not.
Yeah, as a leader, you have to make clear whatever we're discussing stays in it. If you want to talk about the work that you're doing, just talk about yourself. Or the method that you're using, but not in specific terms today at the moment. Because then when you deny in the same thing, no specific information. What other issues? Misuse of power.
Like group leaders forcing group members to do things that they don't want to do.
What other issues? Silence. It's not telling you anything.
So God's email that whereby people may be blamed of some certain issues that they have discussed which add up to some implications of the factor. So members of the group they have to sacrifice each and every I think we end up being taken in that principle so that we should not be minus.
That's the big one. You should not be blaming each other. We're not making somebody feel out of place. What else?
Confrontation.
Confrontation is both the when you talked about it earlier, it's one of the ways, one of the things you have to use. Well, I know it can also be a risk if you're doing confrontation. To an extent, you're making feel somebody out of place and they're feeling like you're feeling like on the spot, then that's too much. You have to confront people to help them change their perception. While you do this to an extent. All right, today we're going to look at what group dynamics is. Group dynamics. And then we're going to look at what groups are, the types of groups a little bit because we already looked at it. Formation of groups, the process, which is also found in the social group plan, but we'll not do much focus on it. And we'll look at the characteristics, the classification of groups. So, group dynamics. So this is the social process by which people interact face to face in a small group. So this one was recognized and popularized by this guy. Elton Meyer in 1920. So it talks about the interactions and forces between group members in a social situation. So I already defined what a group is. We said a group is where two or more people interact and work with each other to achieve a common purpose. Or a group is a collection of individuals and the members accept common tasks, become interdependent when their performance and interdependent in their interaction with one another to promote its accomplishment. So it's a group is just an interaction of two or more people. So group dynamics talks about how that process is going, the social process by which the people in that small group are interacting. How are they interacting? So there are about 3 views regarding the nature of groups. 3 views. So the first is the normative view. This talks about how a group is to be organized and activities are to be carried out. So the normative view talks about how a group is to be organized and how your activities will be carried out. So it emphasizes on democratic leadership and participation of members in cooperation. So in that group, for a well-functioning group, there's supposed to be democracy and cooperation among the members. So the other view consists of the techniques like role playing, brainstorming, sensitivity training, and so on. So it discusses how groups are formed, their structure and process and functioning. So that's on the how groups are built. But then how do we form a group? What are some of the theories behind formation of a group? So the first one is the theory of propinquity.
We will write that one down. Propinquity. Propinquity. Rather, I think it's propinquity.
So this one talks about formation of groups can happen based on how members are close to one another in terms of their geographical location. So as simple as that. And then the other theory is the balance theory, which says that for you to form a group, you have to have people with similar attitudes towards certain subjects. So because people are interested in a topic, football, and then they form a group because of their same interest or because of this similar attitudes.
Well, we see, yes.
No, what's it?
So vendor.
So the other theory, I was talking about is the balance theory, where people with similar attitude towards a certain object or subject tend to be attracted to each other to form a group. And then the other one says exchange theory. The reward cost outcomes are the basis for group formation. So, for instance, if you are working alone as an individual, but then you see that working alone is more costly than when you're working with other individuals when you're teaming up. So there are more benefits to working as a group than working alone. So you tend to form a group based on the rewards that you get when you work together with other individuals. So that means the reward of working alone and the reward of working as a group is better. One is better. The reward of working as a group is better than the other. So that's what the exchange theory talks about. So, for example, people on the balance theory, people with similar attitude can be similar attitude towards certain interests like football or any other interest, the cooking or the parenting group. And for the exchange theory, it can also be any other group where you see that forming a group is much better. You're working with, you're in a business and you want to supply things, and for you to do it alone and for you to team up with members and bring in supplies is better than working alone. So examples can be varied. So earlier we talked about the types of groups. What were those types of groups? What were the 4 types of groups that we talked about? What?
Education,
Mm-hmm.
okay, up with where, that's the. Counseling.
Yeah, counseling.
What?
What's the last one?
Just group segregation, group counseling, group psychotherapy.
So we can.
What was that?
Same, yeah.
So in general, we can categorize groups as either formal or informal. So the formal is already talked about in detail. And then the informal ones, the interest group and the friendship group. So the interest group, as the name suggests, is an informal group where you form it because you have a similar interest. So you and your friends team up to learn about how to cook. That's what I think of first. You team up so that you learn more about what social work is. You team up because of your similar interest, because you have a similar interest in a topic. So there are no formal group laws or rules and regulations. It's just based on what you guys are interested in. And the friendship groups, similar thing, where you and somebody else or a group of people have friendship and you form a group based on friendship. But then the other one, they can be formed by an organization to carry out a specific task, or they can be formed by a certified individual to carry out a specific task or accomplish a specific goal. So they can be formed based on the different situation you're in. If you're in a school where you're working as a counselor and you decide to form a group with the members or the people that you're counseling, or if you're in the hospital and you decide to form a group for people who are recovering from addiction, so there can be an informal group which can fall under any of these categories. So for the informal group, for example, if you're working in an organization and you decide as employees to form a group where you help out each other during sickness or bereavement, that would be an informal group because it would be just formed by the employees to satisfy their social needs. So more on the informal group. So for the interest group, they are more exemplary in nature. And they are formed around a common activity. So the duration of the group depends upon the duration of your activity or the interest that you have. And for the friendship group, it's more permanent in nature. It depends on you guys how long the friendship is going to last. So it can be similarity with you are from a similar age group. Okay, you're coming from the same background, you're coming from the same area, and you decide to form a friendship group.
Permanent in nature.
Yes. Because it doesn't have a time stamp. Eventually, your friendship has dissolved.
You are not meant to be.
But usually,
I'm doing the
usually they're more permanent. People end up being family friends.
Yeah. Training.
Oh!
Only is for the You're my friend.
Why should we do this?
Background.
You take that time.
Yeah.
I send you to WhatsApp.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know, we know what we're doing.
Let us see.
You're done writing?
No, yeah.
So the next part we're going to talk about is the classifications of groups. Classification of groups. So groups can be classified according to Fred Luthans, and there are several classifications in the whether small or large, or the function of the group, and so on and so forth. So this classification is for any group, not only for counseling groups. So for the first one, the classification as small groups. So this is where people interact face to face in the group. Is very small, and you may have specific agendas for which you want to achieve the level of the group. However, for a large group, they can also be face-to-face interaction, but for a large group to achieve a specific goal, it will be harder, so they are more for informing people. And the other one is primary group. They are small in size, and the members have similar values. There are similar values such as loyalty or feeling of companionship. So this can be, for example, a family group. While the secondary group, they are large in size, and the members share common values and beliefs. So there is less a family. So the secondary one is larger in size, and the members share common values and beliefs. So, but then because this is a secondary group and it's larger, there's less interaction with the members. So it can be an education association or a union, an employee union where the group is much larger. And then the coalition. So this is created for a specific purpose. There is no formal structure for the group, and there is independent of formal organization structure. So for the coalitions, there is no formal structure.
Coalition.
Yes, coalition. Oh yeah. And then the membership group can be based on where an individual actually belongs, because they're members, for example, of a student library. So you decide to form a membership group, a group because you're members of a certain place, for example, a library or a gym. And then for a reference group, this is where you belong because of, for example, can be a prestige club. For example, can be a book club. So you go to the book club and you make a group because you want to have reference. So a group can be based on references. You want to have a good reference with a member of this group. So those are some of the classifications of groups. But then, why do people form groups? Why do people form groups in general? Social interaction. So the other reasons could be proximity or security, or as we said with the reference, they want to be affiliated to something, so affiliation, or they want to have power, or they don't have identity.
When I'm wondering the reference, when you say that groups are
Yes, if you want to be affiliated to certain people, you want to be, yes. Because you believe, for example, with the reference, because you believe that if I belong to this club, then chances of me getting, or for example, lowering my costs in my business or finding more social networks would be higher. So you may choose to be in a certain group. So yeah. Why people form groups? So first of all, we have to consider your rationale. What is the rationale for forming a group? Why do you want to form a group? And then you have to consider the objectives of the group. So you're saying that you want to form a group because you want to find social networks, social connections for your work. So then, what are your objectives? Why are you forming that group? What do you want to achieve at the end of the day? So your objectives have to be SMART. Have you heard of the SMART abbreviation?
Yeah.
What does it say?
It's time.
So your objectives should be specific. They should not be generalized. They should be specific. This is what we want to achieve. This is what we want to achieve at the end of the day. Like for this course, you have learning outcomes. So those learning outcomes are specific. They have to be measurable. How do you know that you have achieved whatever you wanted to achieve? What is your scale? Where are you now and what is the gap? Where do you want to be? And then they have to be attainable. Your objective has to be attainable. It should be something that you can achieve. Attainable or achievable. There should be also, so this one can be, R can be relevant, reasonable, or realistic. So even though the Bible says we can achieve anything, what do you say, Jamaican? You can do anything.
I don't think
That's true.
Yes, Commander, we have to be realistic in whatever goal we're setting. Because some goals can be so unrealistic. You're saying at age 52, you want to go study acrobatics. That can be
Begins
possible.
at 40.
Eh?
Life begins at 40.
It can be possible, Commander, are you sure? Are you in the physical state? Or you want to join a parenting group. You're way young for you to be a parent. So is that really reasonable? Is it relevant at that time?
No, there's no one.
And then that objective also has to be timely. So you have to make sure that if you want to achieve something, it should be within a time frame. You should set the duration. I'll do this at this time, and I'll do this at this time. And by this time, I should have completed this. Otherwise, they will be doing the same thing for the rest of their life without achieving anything.
Jesus.
So when you're forming a group, the other thing you have to consider are the practical aspects, the logistics. So you have to consider all the practical issues. For example, where are you going to meet? Is the location big enough? Do you have the necessary equipment for you to be audible? Do the members have enough room or enough chairs, and so on and so forth? So the other one is the procedures. What kind of techniques are you going to use? Are you going to be, for example, are you going to be discussing like this, where you're in front, or you're going to be sitting in a group, in a circle, or what other techniques can you use? Is this going to be, you'll be raising? And then you have to consider evaluation. Evaluation on how you evaluate the process and the outcomes of the group. How will you know that you're achieving whatever objectives that you set out? Will you have a questionnaire? Or are you going to have a sort of assessment for you to evaluate if the group is going on course or not? So in forming a group, there are about 5 stages that you go through. And develop. Don't start.
Inwards. Happy inwards.
So for some of you already know these stages. So the first one, the stages in group development. How a group comes about from the moment you form it to the moment you are dissolving the group. So these are some of the stages in which a group might go through. The first one is the forming stage. So this is where you have your initial meeting and you are not sure about the group structure, the group purpose, and leadership. So this is where you're setting your standards. What are the group rules and regulations? What do we want to achieve? What are our objectives? Who is our leader? And so on and so forth. And then the second stage, storming, where you're resolving your differences. So this is where the group might be going through some conflict, confrontation, concern, or criticism. And as members, those conflicts, confrontations, when you resolve them, it makes your group stronger. It makes your relationships stronger. So when you're starting to resolve your differences, that's when you move to the stage norming. So in norming, this is where you're agreeing on purpose, everybody is on the same page, and the relationships among the members start to develop. There are a bit better relationship, close relationships among the members. And after the group is going on well, everybody's getting along with everybody, then the group starts to going to the stage of performing. So this is where you are achieving your group purpose. There is teamwork and there is clarity of roles. When you assign a task, people know that they're supposed to achieve it, and everybody does their parts. And because everybody is working well, everybody is achieving their purpose, the group is achieving their purpose, then you're completing your tasks and you're achieving your outcomes. Then comes on the part of adjourning. So this is where the last stage of the group. And at this point, the group can be dissolved because you have completed this task, you have achieved your purpose. And the members can choose to separate and close the group. Any questions so far? So, still on forming a group. So we've talked about the areas you have to consider when you're forming the group, the questions you can ask yourself, the rationale, the objectives, the practical considerations, the procedures, and the evaluation. But what about the members? How do you know that we're supposed to include such members in our groups? What questions can you ask to screen your potential members? Because you cannot just involve anyone in the group. You have to know that this member is a good fit for our group. So when you form your friendship groups, do you consider who you are techniques or you just
Yes. Yes, we must see. So we need to join your romantic.
so what are some of the things you can consider when you're forming a friendship group?
That's good. So what mentality?
The mentality of the person, the characteristics of the person. What are you doing? What happened today? So some of the person or a leader is, should this person be included in this group? Should the person be included in the group? Do I have the necessary qualifications to understand the problem that the person is coming with? And how can the person be benefit from the group? What can the person benefit from the group?
What can the person benefit from the group?
Yeah. How can the person benefit from
Mutual aid.
Mutual aid.
the group? Yes, but then you have to consider is the participant, what they want to achieve. Is it possible with you in that group? And who might not be a good fit in the group? You have to think about who may not be in the group.
Who may not be in a good fit, a good fit.
Or who might not fit in the group. So for you to screen the individuals, you might choose to make up a questionnaire for a person to fill up before they enter the group.
And they are great. And then I can now
Or might choose to have an interview with this person, to talk to them face to face. What their problem is, what they want to achieve by the end of the day. And how will you deal with such candidates who are not accepted in the group? Or do you not be accepted anyway, and how will you deal with them? So, what are some of the problems that the person can encounter if they're not fitting in the group? It can create a lot of conflict.
Yes. Balance and trust.
Balance.
They are going to school.
That's why you have to consider screening a potential member for a group. So that in the end you have a successful group. All right, so I think for the way we can stop here. Has everybody submitted their assignment? I haven't counted. Have you all submitted the assignments?